Welcome back to another match preview. The North London derby is right around the corner this Sunday night. Arsenal versus Tottenham. That was painful. I genuinely cannot stand saying their name out loud. Got the sacred shirt on for this one. 2003-04 home kit. The Invincibles kit with Thierry Henry on the back. I only ever wear this shirt on North London derby weekend because the man on the back never in his entire career lost a match to Spurs. This is the one match you look for first when the fixtures get released at the start of the season. This is the one match you highlight it, you circle it, you underline it on your calendar, especially this match. Out of all 38 games we're going to play in the Premier League this season, this one match, you especially beg Arsenal, whatever you do, do not drop points in this match. Let's get into it. Starting us off, I will go through my preferred lineup for this match. There are quite a few positions that write themselves. That is David Raya in goal, Jurrien Timber at right back, William Saliba at centre back, Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi at the base of the midfield, Bukayo Saka on the right, and Leandro Trossard on the left. Now, the debate of the week: who replaces Gabriel at the back? I am fuming that he has been injured in this fashion. He trained separately from the Brazil camp in the lead up to a pointless international friendly against Senegal because he wasn't fully fit. Yet, he still started because Carlo Ancelotti decided to throw Eder Militao at right back, despite having multiple proper right backs available, hence forcing him to start Gabriel. Forcing him to start a not fully fit Gabriel. Putting Gabriel at risk of picking up a major injury, and that's exactly what he's done. Some kind of groin issue. Don't know the specifics of it yet. We don't even know the time frame yet, but he is not going to be available for this one. In my view, we go with Christian Mosquera at left centre-back. Initially, I was on board with Hincapié. He's older, he's more experienced, he's left-footed. But Christian Mosquera seems to be the one Arteta is trusting more out of the two when Saliba or Gabriel is not available. I think that trend should continue. He looks more adapted to the league than Piero Hincapié. His game is more similar to Gabriel. He's taller, he's more physically adept. Played a lot more for Arsenal than Hincapié. Since he arrived, he's had only football to focus on. Hincapié had about a month of recovery from a muscle injury. It's Mosquera for me. At left back, I would stick with Riccardo Calafiori. He had a minor issue on international duty with Italy, left camp, went back to Arsenal early for what seems like purely precautionary reasons. He is available for this match. He's building some very, very strong momentum in the Premier League this season. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Riccardo Calafiori at left back. And then number 10, Eberechi Eze. There are rumours that Ødegaard could be back for this match, but it would probably come too early for him to start. Certainly, if he is to play, it'll be off the bench. That's how we usually do things with players coming back from injury. They come off the bench. They do not start. Eberechi Eze, do the deed against the club you nearly went to over the summer. And then Mikel Merino at striker. As of now, this match probably too soon for Victor Gyökeres. Merino, we know you don't use your physicality to stretch backlines the way Gyökeres does, but what you are terrific at is getting in the right place at the right time to score a goal. Please keep doing that. You are the only option we have at striker, provided Victor Gyökeres is not fit. So keep doing the deed. Now, it's very unfortunate that I have to include this next segment, but that is the state that is football these days. We must talk about the referee. Michael Oliver has somehow managed to manipulate his way into being in charge of another Arsenal match. The last time that happened was January of this year away at Wolves. We all know what happened there. This referee does not like Arsenal. This referee is most likely corrupt. I'm not going to say for certain, but the signs are there. Let me just remind you of some of the things that he has done to Arsenal over the past few years. A Wolves away a few seasons ago, 21-22, it was Gabriel Martinelli gets sent off for 2 yellow card offences within the same passage of play. That doesn't sound all that diabolical, but that was in February of 2022, coming up on 4 years ago. In the Premier League, the same punishment for similar incidents has never happened again. We then have the two Manchester City matches. First one, 2023-24 at our ground. Mateo Kovacic commits two arguably straight red offences. The first on Martin Odegaard, the second one on Declan Rice. Yet he escapes the match with nothing more than a singular yellow card. The referee in that game was Michael Oliver. Howard Webb responded not by saying that Michael Oliver, his referee, made a mistake, but instead by saying that Michael Oliver does not like interfering negatively in big matches. And that is hilarious because the following season, last season, this season now, 2024-25, at the Etihad, Arsenal versus Manchester City, Leandro Trossard gets sent off for a second yellow for kicking the ball away barely 1 second after the whistle had been blown. That is possibly the pettiest way anyone has ever been sent off in the Premier League. Mateo Kovacic, two arguably straight red cards, but it's a Man City player, completely fine. One Arsenal player kicking the ball away while he clearly thought play was still in session. Clearly he is off the chains. He needs to be sent off. This referee is so inconsistent. He continues to bend the rules to get what he wants. The same can be said of January this year. Again, the last Arsenal match he refereed. Miles Lewis-Skelly gets sent off in the first half. Straight red card for a challenge in Wolves' half. It's in their half. That first straight away, that means it was not a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. It wasn't last man back. You can go back and watch the replays. And the PGMOL said it was high and dangerous. There are countless photos of this incident. It definitely was not high and dangerous. By letter of the law, that was not a red card yet. Michael Oliver, he gave it out as one. I know, thankfully, this red card was overturned by the FA, not by PGMOL. That is an important detail. But the two matches Lewis-Skelly would have missed were against Manchester City and Newcastle. Man City being the club that Oliver clearly holds a bias for, Newcastle being the club he is publicly known to support. In my view, Michael Oliver should not be an EFL referee anymore. He should not be allowed to referee matches in England. He certainly should not be allowed anywhere near Arsenal matches. He is not a legitimate referee. I'm not afraid to come on here and say that. It is disgusting that he is allowed to referee Arsenal matches. I don't know how he's managed to pull it off, but he's here again. We have to ask him to simply do not make it about himself. That chant we gave for him last season, Michael Oliver, it's all about you. It is all about him. This referee cannot handle himself not being the center of attention. He must make it all about himself. If you're going to the game on the weekend to support the Arsenal, I ask that you be loud on every single poor decision that Michael Oliver makes. Let him know that we will not settle for more corruption in our matches coming from him. Moving on. I hate Tottenham. There are things I want to say about that club that are not appropriate for this app. You might think I'm doing too much. You might think this is overkill. You might think it's all a joke. It's all a gag. That thing about I hate saying their name out loud. It's not a joke. That club genuinely sickens me. Their fans have been way too loud this year. Is it because of the Europa League win? Maybe. Is it because they signed Xavi Simons? Maybe. I don't care what it's about. I care that they're being too loud and they've forgotten their place. What I'm feeling is not regular hatred for that club. It's understanding that we need to win this game so that their fans will re-understand what their place is. We will always be superior to them. I can tell you that this match of football, this fixture, fires me up like nothing else. Not even in football. In life as a whole, nothing gets me going more than the North London derby. This brings out feelings and behaviours in me I never would have known existed if I never got into football. One of my favourite games from last season. Very underrated game in my opinion. 2-1, January, at the Emirates. We went behind. Let me tell you. This is a consequence of that game. When Son scored that first goal, on the ground. Nothing has ever angered me in this life more than that Son goal. I absolutely loved coming back. Gabriel, back post, bullet header, went down as an own goal for Solanke or whoever. We don't care. A goal is a goal. I told Leandro Trossard 5 minutes later, do not shoot. I then proceeded to get one of the best adrenaline rushes of my entire life, possibly only second to Declan Rice's first free kick against Real Madrid. Trossard ignores me, who am I to talk anyway, shoots with his left foot, which is supposedly his weak foot, I don't know about that. Scores past Kinski, runs to the corner, cups his ears to the Spurs end. Miles Lewis-Skelly, 18 years old, shushes their fans, calls them a word I'm not allowed to say on this app. You know, I'm going to take back what I said earlier about that Trossard goal, the adrenaline rush from that goal. Miles Lewis-Skelly tries to time waste, gets a yellow card for it. It happens, goes out behind the goal, revs up the clock end with all he has. That adrenaline rush in that moment, I would argue for me was better than the one I got from Rice's first free kick. Again, I say, nothing brings out so much pride and passion in me than a North London derby. That is why I'm so pumped for this match this weekend. In this fixture, form does not matter, circumstance does not matter. We always find a way. I mentioned this a few days ago. We always seem to be up against it when we play Spurs. Both fixtures last season, we were so up against it, right? We looked doomed, but we still overcame and we still won both fixtures. At their ground, this was early in the season. This was right after the first international break of the season. We had so many injuries that we were debating if our midfield should include then 17-year-old Ethan Nwaneri or Leandro Trossard. It was definitely not a midfielder, right? What do? We still found a way. January, that same match that I just was talking about a minute ago. The previous week, we'd gotten knocked out practically of both cup competitions, knocked out of the FA Cup first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final, lost 2-0 to Newcastle, practically out. It looked for all the world to see we were not doing anything on the transfer market despite desperately needing to. Gabriel Jesus had just done his ACL. We only had one fit striker at the club, Kai Havertz, who then went on to get injured himself a few weeks later. The fan base was so toxic, I would argue the most toxic I had seen it since the banter era. And again, we went behind on the night. Can take in all of that for a second. Take in all of that. The club has just had a horrible week. So many XG gone by. Only one goal scored between those two cup matches from Gabriel. No activity on the transfer market whatsoever, despite really needing to. A toxic as hell fan base. Went behind on the night. We still won. Thanks to Leandro Trossard. I will forever love you for that goal. Miles Lewis-Skelly was possessed in that game. I will forever love him for that match. This fixture means more to us, and when a fixture means more, we always find a way. Form goes out the window, circumstance goes out the window. We always find a way. I don't think Spurs understand what this fixture means. There's a really striking image from the match at their stadium last season. Gabriel has just scored that bullet header. He's going crazy over in the corner flag. If you zoom into the background of this particular image, you can see Van der Ven and you can see Kulusevski staring at Gabriel. They cannot comprehend the reaction he is having. They don't understand that level of passion, that level of ferocity in celebration of a goal in the North London derby. They don't understand it. Spurs do not get the meaning of this fixture like we do. That is why we are always, under Mikel Arteta, able to find a way to win this game. I strongly believe that trend will continue and that we will win this match. We need to win this match now. If Eberechi Eze is to do the deed on Sunday night, oh my goodness, I might literally ascend to heaven if that happens. Eberechi Eze, this man was on the verge of joining Spurs for 2 weeks before Andrea Berta in his superhero costume came and swooped in at the very last possible second and hijacked the deal in 2 hours. Eberechi Eze was this close to going to Spurs. And it didn't happen. Imagine what their fans would feel like if Eze is to come and do the deed, score only his second Premier League goal for Arsenal. against Spurs. Do you know how crazy that would drive them? An Eze goal this Sunday, the holy day, that would feed generations. Let him wreak havoc on that Spurs backline. They're going to be after him. This is not a match where prisoners are taken. Unleash him. Let him be creative. Let him get inside their heads. Newcastle, please get the job done against Man City at your ground. The day before that is... trying to figure out with time zones here. Saturday night, UK time. Probably Sunday morning for me. I think 4:30 in the morning it is. I'll see if I watch that one or not. And then Sunday night, Monday morning at 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m. for me, we go and we get our job done. Please do not let them know what hit them. Please, Arsenal, get the job done. Remind them of why North London was, is, and will forever be red. If results go in our favour by the end of the weekend, we could be 7 points clear. 6, I would accept that would be a draw between Man City and, of course, an Arsenal win over Spurs. Right, I don't know what the hell that preview was. Probably just a bunch of yap. Bunch of senseless passion. Too long didn't watch is Spurs are shit. We need to beat them. Remind them why we own this city. Come on the Arsenal.